Hello and welcome to the Impact Show on Tech TV CxO Global Forum. This is Shadad Sikandar. The topic we're going to talk about today is entrepreneurship, the agri-sector or the agriculture sector. But before we talk about the agriculture sector, I would like to point out something which is entrepreneurship versus a jobbian. थोड़े सी आज हम हट के पहले बात करते हैं. आपने सबने शेर के बारे में सुना होगा कि शेर जो है वो जंगल का बादशाह होता है. लेकिन शेर भी दो किस्म के होते हैं. जो जंगल में होता है वो बादशाह होता है, और जो सर्कस में होता है वो बेचारा बादशाह तो होता है, बादशाह नहीं होता लेकिन शेर होता है. अब वो जो शेर होता है उसके खाने पीने की, सिक्योरिटी की कोई टेंशन नहीं होती, क्योंकि वो सर्कस वाले जो है वो उसकी पूरी जिम्मेदारी लेते हैं. लेकिन जो जंगल का शेर होता है, जब वो सुबह उठता है तो उसको अपने खाने पीने और सिक्योरिटी सबका इंतजाम खुद ही करना पड़ता है. सो बेसिकली जंगल का शेर बादशाह उस वक्त बनता है जब वो अपनी सारी चीजों की जिम्मेदारी खुद लेता है, और जो सर्कस का शेर है उसकी जिम्मेदारी किसी और ने ली हुई होती है और उसको सिर्फ सर्कस में नाचना होता है. लेकिन जो जॉबियन होता है ना, जो सर्कस का शेर होता है, उसको हर महीने तनख्वाह तो मिल जाती है, लेकिन उसके साथ वो बाउंड होता है अपने मास्टर के, और वो बादशाह नहीं हो सकता कभी. लेकिन जो जंगल का शेर है वो, उसके पास बहुत बड़ा रिस्क है, लेकिन एट द सेम टाइम वो अपना बादशाह है और वो किसी भी मास्टर के थ्रू बाउंड नहीं है. आज हमारे पास एक ऐसा शख्स मौजूद है, and we have somebody, and we are very pleased to have somebody with us who is primarily a person who was in a circus and moved into the jungle back. So he's moved from a job onto entrepreneurship, and not only just entrepreneurship into the agriculture sector, which is very, very interesting. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Mr. Shaheryar Brohi. He is the chief executive of Hazur Baksh Brohi Farms. And over to you, Mr. Shaheryar. Welcome to the Impact Show on Tech TV CxO Global Forum. Also, welcome to the CxO Global Forum. You are one of our newest members on the CxO Global platform. So, Mr. Shaheryar, thank you very much for joining us once again. I tried to give the most apt introduction that I could for somebody like you who has, based on my research, has been in a job for over 2 decades and now has moved on to an entrepreneurial venture. So my first question is, let's start off with your journey with jobs and probably your education and a brief history of your jobs, and then what brought you into the agriculture sector.
Assalamu alaikum, Shazad. I hope you're doing well. It's nice seeing you here. And well, the thing is that I come from Hyderabad. My first degree is electronics engineering and a post-graduation in information systems from University of Wales.
Okay.
I have worked in media most of my professional life. I have worked with media agencies and TV channel like CNBC, और 15 साल काम किया इसी सेक्टर में, स्पेशलाइज इन आउट ऑफ होम मीडिया, वर्क फॉर क्लाइंट्स लाइक PNG, यूनिलीवर, टेलेनॉर एंड एमिरेट्स, और इस तरह के कुछ क्लाइंट्स थे. सो एक अच्छा जर्नी रहा, बट आफ्टर वर्किंग फॉर 2 decades आई डिसाइडेड टू वर्क ऑन माई ओन. ठीक है जी. So I come from an agricultural.
Let me pause you a minute. This is very interesting. This is, I think, journey would be an understatement. So you are an IT professional or a software engineer by profession, and you also did your MBA. You've worked in the telecom sector. You've worked in the media industry. You've worked in advertising. And if I've not lost you somewhere in the process, I think, 5 industries. So a person in IT goes into media, then goes into telecom, goes into marketing, and then you've also managed out of home. So that's a lot of diversity, which, by the way, a lot of HR professionals think that, and for the benefit of the viewers also, a lot of HR professionals feel that this is a person who's probably doing a lot of job hopping. But this also has a lot of diversity. So how do you manage this diversity? I'm not going into the entrepreneurship. I mean, just take us through the journey of so much of diversity. I mean, how did you handle so much diversity?
I have been always open to learning. So when I graduated from Mehran University with majors in electronics engineering, I joined Parktel in Hyderabad. I worked in customer services, then I've worked in business partner sales. After that, I went to England to pursue my post graduation, returned and worked for IT companies, couple of IT companies in IT security, in web development, in project management. After 5 years of working, I completely burned out. So I was like, it's very, very boring and monotonous work. Like वही सुबह को उठ कर टाई लगा के सूट लगा के ऑफिस जाना, just like bankers. I mean, I find them very boring. So at the age of 31, I
Bankers
met
run the
with,
economy, Mr. Brohi. Bankers run the economy. So let's not call them boring. But yeah, let's categorize them as Jobians, and then all those Jobians who wear a suit and a tie and they go to work and come back in the evening. So let's call those people boring.
fair enough, fair enough. Okay.
Okay. So
So
after
I
5 years, IT became boring.
so what happened that I met this one of the media gurus in Pakistan, and I joined Pak Mediacom at the age of 31, and I was I think in the history of Pakistan, in the history of corporate sector, I've been the oldest management trainee. At the age of 31, I was management trainee at Pak Mediacom. Again, I
Wow.
was open to learning, so I said, okay, fine, bring it on. It's a new thing. So I worked on TV, I worked on print, and I made out of home my specialization. Worked on Nokia, PNG. One of my campaigns got best campaigns of the year award as well by PAS back in the year 2006.
Wow.
Uh,
So you became
then
the Colonel Sanders of advertising, that you got your first breakthrough later in the age.
yeah, I
Colonel
mean,
Sanders
of
got his
course,
first breakthrough when he crossed 50. And we have a lot of examples of such entrepreneurs also who get their first breakthrough later in the age.
yeah,
So
exactly,
being a management trainee at 31, what
yeah,
kind of challenges did you face? Because generally management trainees are people who just graduated, so they could be at least a decade younger than you. What were the
yeah.
challenges that I'd like to stop you and understand those challenges?
Well, I was reporting to a 25-year-old. That
Wow.
was
So
one of the challenges.
how did that work out?
But again, it was a challenge. But again, I overcame it, and I have an extrovert personality. And when you're out there to learn, you don't think. एक focus रखना होता है ना आपको. My focus was learning. ठीक है जी. So I shut down everything, and my focus was on learning. So went well. And
How how did your 25-year-old boss take you?
well, I had been with two younger bosses, and they both trained me well on TV media, and yeah, it was good.
Okay, so at the age of 31, where most people are generally have completed 5, 6, 7, or even 10 years of their career at some point in time,
Yeah, yeah,
and especially these startups and the younger generation, they start up really early. So 10 years after your career, you decide to be a management trainee. That tells us a lot about willingness, not just the ability, but the willingness to wanting to learn, which is very, very important. So yeah, then let's move
exactly.
on. So you became a management trainee, you won a lot of awards, and
So yeah,
your campaign got the best award. So that paid off. Then what happened?
uh, I had a very good opportunity. I came across a very good opportunity at Telenor, Pakistan. It was a regional business development head position for Sindh and Balochistan, and my experience was since I've worked in telecom before as well when I was with Parktel, so I knew the basic traits and all. So I just went for it. That's it. बिल्कुल different काम था completely. It was most of the activations
So this
activations
is
backed by
this is
customers.
the third change
Yeah,
in your career.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
very nice. So
I
from
worked there.
IT to software to out of home to media, and then now you're talking about Telenor business development. Not so you were not in the technical side of
No,
Telenor
no,
or
never.
technical
No, no.
business development,
Besides,
which primarily is sales. So that's interesting. So now you move into
exactly.
sales.
Either
Very nice.
coming up with, yeah, coming up
Years
with,
into- This is
yeah,
how
my
many years
job was
into?
to, Excuse me, sorry.
How many years into the career? When did you join Telenor? I mean, how much
I
experience
joined
did
in
you?
2006, but I had to leave in 2000. I had to leave this company in 2007, which I never wanted to. But my mother was not well, and I was transferred to Gwadar. So I could not
Okay.
continue in Gwadar.
You entered into business development, I would assume at least 5, 10 years after your career started, and with a very different background of IT and not going into the technical side of it. What took you into business development? And I mean, you could have opted for being a software engineer, you could have opted for a similar position, other than the fact
Well,
that you already mentioned that it's very, very boring.
yeah. See, the thing is that when I went to England in 1999, I wanted to be systems analyst. ठीक है
Oh,
जी?
wow.
So when I returned to Pakistan, and I went for these interviews and all, they said that you need to know programming. I said, I know Java, but I know UML as well, but I can't write codes. I'm not good with it. I can't develop that logic. They said, sorry, you have to be a programmer. I said, okay, I'm not doing it then. I went for software marketing instead. See, I have a built-in ability I'm a very good client service man. So I utilized my client services skills. And since I had that required IT knowledge, so I ended up into an American software house, which was IntelliLabs, from where I went to a Dubai-based company, which was Pronet. It was an IT security company. I was working with the
Sales
bank.
came naturally to you, and customer service, client service came naturally to you, which is why
Yes,
you opted for the Telenor position.
yes,
Okay.
yeah, yes,
So I'm trying to bring some inclusion into the diversity. So
yeah,
basically, it's a personality trait that you've always had,
yes,
if I've not understood you correctly. That personality trait is of being a people's person, being keeping
exactly.
customers happy, and
Yeah.
be a B2B or B2C business. So that took you to Telenor, and then you ventured into what?
Uh, After Telenor, I got a chance at CNBC Pakistan as an assistant account manager. Completely different scenario, media sales, ad sales. And CNBC has always been extremely tough sell.
Hmm.
Alhamdulillah, I did great there. Uh, got 2 promotions in a span of 15 months. And when I left CNBC in 2010 for National Investment Trust, uh, I was already a regional head. Like I was heading the biggest region, which is Karachi. I was heading sales in Karachi, so it was the biggest move. So after that,
So,
I
what
went to.
would you call this so far? Would you call this journey so far something to do with luck or destiny, or is it something to do with some strategy, or is it something that just happened because you just kept getting the opportunities and you played along?
Uh, After leaving Telenor, I was jobless for a couple of months. I joined CNBC Majburi mein, but this Majburi came out to be a very, very good learning opportunity. I worked with the best salespeople and a very good paymaster in the industry.
So,
So
so all of this journey that starts off from an American software house and then progresses on to out of home and all of that. So, would you attribute it to destiny, or would you attribute it to a strategy?
I would say it's destiny.
Okay,
Yeah,
so the destiny paved the way, and because you were a people's person, and because you felt that you want to learn, and we have a classic example for the viewers that somebody wants to become a management trainee at the age of 31. So that's something that our youth needs to learn, that there is no age for learning, and I think the learning never stops, because learning is a continuous process until you
definitely,
die. And I'm
definitely,
not sure even after that there must be a lot of learning that we need to, we'll be introduced to. But till the time we're alive, there is a learning every day, every minute, and I think the viewers will appreciate that, and you will appreciate that too. So then, so from your employment journey, then from CNBC you went on to something else,
I
and
will.
then what? Then how did you transition into entrepreneurship?
Well,
Was it destiny, strategy? Yeah, majboori. I like the word majboori here because you seem to call CNBC, a multinational media broadcast global channel, a
Yeah.
majboori. So that's quite interesting. So what brought you into entrepreneurship?
Well, zid,
Sorry,
stubbornness, zid.
please say
एक
that
चीज
again. I am uh, okay. So
Okay,
I
let me tell you. Okay, let me tell
asked
you.
the person what brings you to entrepreneurship, and the person says zid.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
so
I have always been interested into farming. Nature always attracted me.
okay.
So what happened that I have been researching for a couple of years on tunnel farming. Uh,
Hmm.
then I came across some like-minded people in Nawab Shah who were doing drip irrigation, who were doing agriculture on drip irrigation system. They were growing orchards, lemon, guava, citrus, all these citrus and all these things. So last year I went to Canada. I started
Hmm.
my work ek halka pulka level pe, but last year I went to Canada and there I saw at Walmart, there I saw an Indian product, a food product. And then I was looking for a Pakistani product. I couldn't find any Pakistani product over there. So I was like, if they can come here, why can't we come here?
Hmm.
It's a good thing that they are there. They're, ठीक है, it's a very good thing. Tilda, it was Tilda Chawal, Tilda Rice. So I said that I want my brand at Walmart.
Wow. You want
इस
your
तरह
brand.
जो है,
Wow.
yes. So उसी की basis पर जो है ना, I started working. I'm a bit of a philanthropic as well.
Hmm.
Philanthropy भी करता हूँ मैं. So it was a good opportunity for me कि ये philanthropy में charity always starts at home. तो मैंने philanthropy अपने गांव से ही शुरू की, जो मैं शुरू कर चुका हूँ, and I plan to start an NGO sometime soon, hopefully, which will be working towards the prosperity, and it could be anything.
Inshallah. Inshallah.
Yeah. So tunnel farming
I
start
think that is
की,
step two.
pardon? Excuse me?
I think step two probably inshallah the brand to Walmart. Then moving forward, then you can take the philanthropy to the next level also.
No. These things will.
So
I'll start
yes,
working on it
then
side by
I
side.
think
Yeah.
you went. Okay, great. So then you explored on tunnel farming and drip irrigation, and then what happened?
Yeah.
So while
So
you
I
were doing
started
all this
last year.
exploration and research, were you still on a job? Goodbye to everything.
See, the thing is, it's a it was a completely different field for me. Never studied agriculture, and when you are into these kinds of fields such as tunnel farming, so in order to learn all these things, you should be knowing the type of all these vegetables, the seeds, the pesticides and all these things. तो उस पे जो है ना एक certain एक research जो थी ना वो हल्की फुल्की चली रही थी मेरी. All I was looking for
Hmm.
an operational partner, a like-minded person who is also
Okay.
into these things. Yeah. See,
Okay. So
I
from
live
what I
in Karachi.
understand, you had a vision. Somebody in operations. So you had a vision, but you needed somebody in operations.
Yes. Someone
Okay.
experienced in agriculture field who is who has the same who is a like-minded person who thinks on the same lines
Mhm.
with what I think.
Great. Okay. So then what happened?
So I started last year cultivated cucumber. And मेरे काम करने का तरीका ये है कि if I'm growing something on mass level, I do projects on side by side as well. So I did some of the a bit of organic farming as well, without pesticides, without synthetic pesticides and urea and all those things. So I grew bitter gourd, which is Karela, black cherry tomatoes, and soft gourd, which is Turai. So I worked on these three products side by side last year and had very good results. So
So,
now,
so your entrepreneurial journey is in effect a year old, but you have been researching and developing the concepts for over a period of time. But
Yeah.
I want to understand, and for the benefit of our viewers and the people who are going to watch the show even later, and use this as a learning experience. What was that one thought that made you move from the security? Like I said in my initial introduction, that there is the lion of the circus is very
Hmm.
secure, is well looked after, and just has to report to the master. But leaving that security and moving on to entrepreneurship, what is that thought? Yes, there's one good thought. They want to promote the country, you want to promote Pakistan, you want to see your brand, your country's brand in Walmart. But other than that, I mean, what was that process that was in your mind?
Uh, I've worked with the best bosses, with the best media people in the media and telco people in Pakistan. So, but there is one thing about my nature. I can't be tamed. I mean, बंद करके नहीं रख सकते मुझे. I'm a free soul.
So
So,
you're the lion of the jungle, not the lion of the circus.
pardon?
But you're the lion of the jungle, not the lion of the circus.
Yes. Now I'm lion of the jungle, of course.
Okay, but that's a personality trait. Like you said, you cannot be tamed. So you have always been the lion of the jungle who
Yeah.
cannot be tamed and kept in the circus. But if I'm
Yeah.
not wrong, if I've understood your journey correctly, you spent
Hmm.
about 2.5 decades in the circus.
Yeah.
Only realized that you could not be tamed. But my question still remains, why didn't you realize this after the 10 years? I mean, what took you 25 years to realize that you're the lion of the jungle and not the lion of the circus?
I knew it. I realized some like 10 years ago.
Hmm.
I'm not a job person.
Okay.
I have to do my own thing. I was just trying to figure out what. ठीक है जी. But after working for so many years in media, you always think about opening up your own advertising agency, your own media buying house, or a media marketing company. But I realized in 2011-12 that I should be doing something of my own. Uh, then finally tried working with someone on media marketing as well somewhere in 2011 and 2010 and 11. That didn't work out. But the best thing was that in 2015, I figured out that this is tunnel farming and this is I want to work because I love nature.
Okay.
I want to
So
be in
again,
nature.
another
Yeah.
personality trait that you love nature, you wanted to
Yes.
promote your country, you
Yes.
thought about it 10 years ago, but it took you about 10 years to implement it.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Because
now that you have implemented it, how do you feel? And now that you've implemented it, what are the challenges? Do you miss being the lion of the circus? Do you miss being a jobian?
not at all.
Wow. Okay. So I mean, what is the feeling? I mean, there are a lot of people who want to move from jobs to entrepreneurship. Their basic concern is twofold: the financial and the sustainability. The what ifs. What if it doesn't work out? So, how did you address that, and how do you address that even today?
Uh, the thing is that कुछ अपनी सेविंग्स थी. अल्लाह मियाँ पे तवक्कुल था. That's it.
Mashallah. So that takes care of the financial bit. But people get into this complacent comfort zone where they feel that every month I'm going to get a paycheck, then every year I'm going to get a raise, or I'll move on to another job, or I'll get a promotion, and the benefits that are associated with it. And also the risk is minimized because your risk is limited to the fact of at best losing your job, and then you can hop on to another one and then to another one. But in this case, the 100% risk lies with you. So your ability to succeed or fail will impact a lot of other stakeholders, not only just your family and your personal contacts, but also the people that work for you. So that's a bigger responsibility. So how do
Yes.
you do that, and how do you feel about that?
See, yes, there is a possibility, like because of COVID, I had a pretty big loss as well.
I'm
But
sure you've had a
in the
loss for a
future,
few.
in the future, I am hopeful that I'm going to do better. Initially, when I started, there were teething issues. ठीक है जी, मतलब research, when you research about all these things, watching YouTube videos and reading lot of material and talking to a lot of people,
And when
you
you
don't know,
practically, yes,
yeah, you don't know the ground realities.
true.
So when you start working, when you are in the industry, when you're on the ground, when I'm in the field with my people, I consider myself one of them. So I
Wow.
have planted seeds by myself. I have like set up the tunnels with my people. Matlab, I'm not
So
the kind
the
of
do
the
it yourself approach. So the leadership is about do it yourself approach or lead by
yes,
example.
yes, yes, exactly. So that उनका मोरल भी जो है ना हाई रहता है.
Of course, that I think that is the best motivational tool that
Exactly,
anybody can use.
exactly. So I work with them side by side. I don't treat them as my servants or my team. They are my team basically. Without them, I'm nothing.
Of course, of course.
So
So,
I take care of them and they take care
security
of me.
has never bothered you. The sense of security has never bothered you.
No, I
Okay,
knew that
that's
inshallah I'll do it. I knew it from here. I knew that हो जाएगा. No worries.
okay. So there, uh, I mean, there are two kinds of theories. One is a success theory, and I think people learn the most from failure stories. Alhamdulillah, so far it has been a success story for you, and inshallah, we wish that it's a success story in the future also. And because the vision that you have to promote the country and to promote your product internationally, globally, and get the recognition and rightly so because 70% or 67% of our economy in Pakistan is agriculture. So there are many aspects and avenues of agriculture. And inshallah, we'll plan another show where we get into the depths of agriculture because obviously due to limitation of time, we cannot cover the entire sector in one show. But having said that, there is success and there is failure, and people learn a lot from failure stories and success stories. But being I will call you a young entrepreneur now because you're a young entrepreneur, 1 year old entrepreneur with a 10 year old vision. But what is success to you?
Uh,
This was not a trick question, by the way. The trick question follows this. So, what is success to you?
Success for me is doing something good for the people who are
Mhm.
working with you, whether you are working for someone or you're working for yourself. I
Okay.
have always believed in delegation of authority. So whoever has worked with me in different agencies like in Starcom, in Blitz, in Arrows, all these people in Kinetic, I've always given authority to my subordinates because जब तक वो बड़े नहीं होंगे तब तक मैं बड़ा नहीं होऊंगा. So
So
that,
growth
so
orientation
yes,
and
and secondly, when
growth,
you uh,
complete.
yeah, and success is definitely this charity work. I do that a lot. I do it for my people. I counsel. I do counseling of my people in my village, and the kids who have done already they've done with their intermediate and they're aspiring for some diploma in of associate engineering in mechanical or engineering. I help all these people out. This is what success is.
Okay,
You are
so
building a community.
success has different definitions for different people.
Yes.
If you take the standard definition of success and especially with the youth and the people who are in the corporate sector, success is growth or getting better packages, getting better business growth or even job growth. But having said that, one question very important: what is the reason for success? Do you think that people have a reason for success? And what do you think is your reason for success?
My reason for success.
Yes.
Mm, my reason for success is hard work. That's it.
Okay. So,
You
okay.
you only get lucky when you work hard. That's it.
But I'm sure you've heard that a lot of people do a lot of hard work, but they don't get results.
Maybe their strategy. See, I have been a failure a lot of time in my life. I have lost a lot of campaigns by working for a lot of clients. But see, the thing is
So
that
you're
you have to change
that
the
every
strategy. You don't have to change the goal.
entrepreneur or every successful person has a lot of failure stories also
Yes,
in order
they
to be
do.
successful.
They do. Yeah.
Great. I mean, that's a very candid approach, and thank you for being so candid. Where you actually said live that you have failed a couple of times, and
Yes,
it's I think the great key to success is recognizing your failures and then moving forward and learning from them.
exactly.
But you think that the reason for success is hard work. I think we are also pressed for time. And a few last words from you, Shaheryar. First of all, thank you for being on our show. Finally, we would like to know how you feel about being a new member at the CxO Global Forum. How do you feel the platform or the networking helps people? And I mean, what is your feedback on the CxO Global Forum?
It's a wonderful platform to connect with the right people, to connect with the people from different trades. And I would say that I would love to meet everyone on this forum. Although I'm from agri sector, I don't think so anyone else is there from the
Not
agriculture
yet,
sector.
but soon.
Yeah, I'm sure. I hope. I'm looking forward towards it. And secondly, the thing is that what I want to bring some technology while I'm working on this thing. So definitely, I am going to work with one of our fellow members on
So
some technical
we,
product which
we,
can
we'll be
revolutionize.
happy to assist you with that. Thank you very much, Shaheryar, and thank you very much for your time. It was lovely chatting with you. Thank you for being with us,
Pleasure
and
is all mine, and thank you for that.
meeting you again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Uh, so, viewers, this is probably the end of this episode of the Impact Show, where we spoke on entrepreneurship. I think I really enjoyed, and we had a very good chat on just the agricultural sector, which we briefly touched upon, but it was more about entrepreneurship and jobs. And I think the key learnings were that you need a vision, you need research, and you need a belief in order, and also at times you need certain failure stories which gives you learning in order to succeed. And I think that gives you the strength to move from being a jobian onto on entrepreneurship. That's all for today. Stay tuned and to Tech TV and to the CxO Global Forum. Thank you and have a nice day.